Live and let die. Live and let die. Live and let die. And Let Die, released in 1973, and is directed by Guy Hamilton, who is also behind such films like Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, and The Man with the Golden Gun. And this film is starring Roger Moore in his first outing as 007, Yaphet Kotto, and that fine glass of wine, Jane Seymour. And the reason why we're talking about Live and Let Die today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a big contributor and supporter of this channel, Jeremy Pape. Thank you very much for this recommendation. I know you sent it in a little bit ago, but I've just had so many recommendations, just fitting it into my schedule. It's a great problem to have, by the way, but that's the reason why it's just taken a little bit to get to this one. It just had to be scheduled out for a little bit, but I'm definitely happy I got around watching it. I always love watching a good James Bond film. And while I don't think that this is anywhere close to being the greatest James Bond film, just any James Bond movie is just fun to put on and watch and have it on in the background or whatever. It brings me back great nostalgia of having James Bond viewing weekends on TNT or whatever channel that was. So thank you very much, Jeremy, for the recommendation. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Jeremy Pape and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out just like what I did with Jeremy Pape here. On the island of San Monique, there lives a dictator by the name of Dr. Kananga, who is secretly growing heroin plants to hopefully one day take over the entire heroin drug market all over the world. Well, after several MI6 agents have been killed off because they were getting too close to the truth, here comes 007 James Bond to uncover the mystery of all of these murders, and to take down Dr. Kananga once and for all, and to have a lot of sex along the way. That is an aspect of this character that I always forget. I always remember that, gosh, he's so cool at all the spy stuff, and he gets all these cool gadgets, he has all these cool chase scenes in all of his movies, and yes, I know he is a womanizer, and he usually ends up with the girl in the end, but I always forget, especially in these early James Bond movies, how forceful he is on all of these women that just show up in his life, and how easily seduced they are by him. Which I guess if you're going to compare Sean Connery to Roger Moore in terms of like which one is sexier, and if one of them made a pass at you, which one would you be more willing to sleep with? I would assume that would be Roger Moore. That is a very attractive, good-looking man, especially in his younger years. Sean Connery, I mean, he was balding in the first one. Not saying that balding is a problem and is not attractive on some people. I'm not saying that at all, right? Don't put words in my mouth, people. God. I'm just saying, in overall terms of attractiveness, I think Roger Moore is way more attractive than Sean Connery. Why am I talking about this in a James Bond movie? Caleb, talk about James Bond and guns and action and stuff. Not the attractiveness of the guys, Caleb. God. Though I know it is a controversial thought, I still like Roger Moore as James Bond over Sean Connery. There, I said it. Now, this movie is very strange to me. I know that it got a lot of positive reception when it was first released, and I like the inclusion of the African-American community. I don't like the presentation in that every African-American that we see in this movie is connected in some way, like there's some interconnected transmitting highway between all black people, especially here in New York. I don't think that aspect of the story has aged gracefully the more time has come around, and here in 2025. Though in the history of film, it is nice to see so much black representation happening in a James Bond film, a character that has been well established and is well versed throughout the entire world, even at this point. And I like that James Bond comes over here to New York City and New Orleans. He's exploring all of America. But you can definitely tell that he is a Brit over here with that fine-ass coat and his little gloves that he comes in with, and he's walking the streets of Harlem like, good-looking guy. There I go again. Jane Seymour is here, and she's very good looking. She is very attractive, and I love her. Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. She is great. There. I'm breaking the thoughts that I had. All right. Jane Seymour. Yay! Now, in terms of this film, in regards to the entire catalog of James Bond movies that we have, when we get to certain stereotypical standards that we get with a James Bond film, I don't feel like this film is higher up on the list. Like with the vehicle chase that we typically get in a James Bond movie. We have them on speedboats in the middle of New Orleans, just driving along the highway and skipping over roads and into other things. It's not that impressive with things that I've seen, especially well after this. We do get introduced to the racist, stereotypical police sheriff, who I believe appears in like 2 or maybe 3 other James Bond films with Roger Moore, and it's like an overarching gag, like he's always on vacation, but he shows up in Japan somewhere, I believe. So we get introduced to that character. We do have the great scene of him jumping and running across all of the alligators and crocodiles in that little park, which if any of you have seen the outtakes for, I know it's circling all around online. It's been circling for many years, but those are legit alligators and legit crocodiles that he was running across. Like, that's all for a stunt in a James Bond movie, damn it. I think they did 6 takes, and then the one that we got, I believe, is the 6th take. So, there are some takes in there where he legit just falls over like halfway through getting to the land, and the alligators are right there. I'm surprised that no one was extremely hurt, let alone killed. But again, it's all for good reason. It's for James Bond. Live and Let Die is a fun James Bond adventure. It's definitely not one of my favorites, doesn't even make the top 10 for me, but it is fun seeing Roger Moore in his first outing of this character, who would go on to have the longest run, I believe, as James Bond, or at least have the most entries when it comes to an actor portraying James Bond, and it's just a lot of fun. Does it not age well in certain aspects of this character, of this movie, and of this franchise? No, it definitely doesn't age well, but, you know, if you put yourself back in the mindset of where we were as a people in the 70s, you know what? It's not that bad. I'm gonna give Live and Let Die 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
So guys, have you seen Live and Let Die? What did you think about it? What is your ranking of all the James Bond films? I know we did a ranking several years ago with the newest release. I can't even remember what that one was called, but it is on my channel if you want to look it up. Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you over next time I release next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.